Okay, so in the previous lesson I showed you guys a quick way around Photoshop, where's what, how to work or how to understand the tools, panels and everything that we have in Photoshop. Now my Photoshop already looks darker again. What happened now? This is basically CS6 and I moved away now from CS5. The previous lesson was CS5 and now we over to CS6 already. Don't worry, the software is still the same, it's just a few new updates and the color has changed as well. Okay, so you understand everything now about how Photoshop works in a way with having your tools, having your panels and your workspace and your desktop in the center. So as you guys can see also I've got this big huge hole here which is basically my desktop and then still my canvas here on the left hand side. So there's a little trick around that. First of all, in Photoshop you guys can see under window here at the top we have something called the application frame. So if we enable the application frame, you will see that your whole Photoshop changes again. I'll just have to press plus here so everything merges in nicely, as this will most probably look, or that's how your Photoshop will look like. I'm more a fan of seeing my background in the back, so I can always just quickly change back to my desktop and back to Photoshop. So one huge tip that I can give you right away is go back to window here to the top and just hit application frame, and that will go away and you will always have your canvas just in a small frame here. If you tap onto your background you will directly get into your desktop, and like you guys can see also over here now I do have this image, so I can just drag this image now into Photoshop, and obviously this is open already on a canvas here so it won't open again, but I can escape this and go like you saw now, just tap onto the desktop, drag this into Photoshop and directly we'll have this opened here as a new canvas. So that's the quickest way also to get an image into Photoshop. And then obviously I can just drag this and make this a little bit bigger like you guys can see earlier and have the whole space to work on. Then another trick here by the side, I usually press F, so it's a halfway full screen and almost works like the application bar. Everything is gone now, so I can tap here onto the background and I'm just in Photoshop. I can also tap F again, and that basically means we're going to the full screen mode. I can now also hold spacebar, move around, and then again press F and get back to just my normal canvas, as you guys can see now. So this is a very quick way to just work better in Photoshop and also understand this a little bit easier. Okay, now another small tip that I want to show you guys before we continue in the next lessons and learning more about layers. I do want to show you guys quickly how to create a new canvas. Okay, so I showed you guys earlier you can just drag this image into Photoshop. That is one way, a super easy way. I'm just going to open Photoshop now again, and also you can go up here to File and say New, and now you can physically create a new canvas. If you're a designer, if you want to design something, you can just go into here, say under your name. First of all you're going to say a certain name. I'm just going to write here now test, so this basically means my new image is going to be called test. Then under preset I can also here choose from a few certain presets, and as well here's international, paper, photo for the web, mobile devices, film and video. I mostly choose custom over here, then type in my width, height and resolution. And obviously you can also change your pixels over here to inches, centimeters, millimeters, whatever you're looking for. I mostly work with pixels, and then obviously also if I'm going for web, more around 72 dpi resolution, and if I'm going for high quality images it's going to be around 300 dpi. Then my color mode, I always work with color RGB, normal RGB color over here, and then also on the right hand side with 8 to 32-bit. That also depends on my images, but that's more technical stuff that we're getting later in some course lessons here. Then also background content, you can either choose from a white, a background color or a transparent. So background color you can choose anything you like. I normally work just with white, and then obviously you can also go more into your advanced color profiles over here, which I don't really play a lot with. I normally just keep it to the standard settings and that works for me. Okay, when you're done you can also save your preset, and when you're ready to go you can hit OK, and that will be obviously opened. We didn't change our width and height now, so my images are really small, my canvas over here, so I'm able now to work in this. Obviously if we go back to File, New, and just change our width and height over here to say maybe 1000, 2000 width and height, say OK, obviously our canvas will then again be bigger than before. Okay, and as you guys can see also now over here, I do have different canvas frames. So here's my first frame, here's my second frame, and I can also drag this into the another one, and I have both here like small tabs on the top. In case you still are under the application frame, it will kind of look like this. You will still have your two canvases next to each other, and you can also drag them away, but you will still have one solid frame here in the background. And like I said earlier, I'm not the biggest fan of that. So what I usually do is just go and unlock that application frame. Okay, so as you guys can see now, that's the quickest way under File and New and Open. You can also choose to open your image, as I'm going to show you guys now. Select Open, and in here I'm back into my computer settings, and on my desktop I can again select this image, and that will also be opened. Again, I can drag this canvas out and have another sheet over here. So that's just the quickest way how to open a new file, or just drag it in, or again, like I said earlier, just create a new file. Then as well, you can also browse in Bridge and that, but more of that in the lessons. Okay, so let's go over now to the next lesson, where you guys will learn a little bit about how to work with layers and just discuss the whole layers.